Right now at 5:30, a man's dead after being shot by a Knox County deputy. Why police say the deputy shot him just ahead.
A warrant has been issued for a well-known Kentucky horse trainer. The reason why she and her father are facing charges. That's coming up on WKYT.
The death toll is up to 42 after the attack at the Istanbul airport. We have breaking news. Arrests have been made.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Right, we're just coming in that 13 arrests in the airport attacks in Turkey. We'll get you the details in just a moment. Good morning, I'm Bill Bryant.
I'm Rebecca Smith. Let's check out what's happening with the weather. It's still pretty nice out there, Micah.
Yeah, it's really nice. And look, once you step out the door today, it's going to be much like what you felt yesterday. Even some locations a little bit cooler. So this is an awesome start to the day. You can already see the glints of daylight as well. And once we hit the afternoon, you'll have plenty of sunshine. I see no problems whatsoever as you get into your afternoon hour, right around 82 degrees, mostly sunny skies. Guys, we're going to talk about your weekend forecast. Looks pretty rainy late into the weekend, off into the 4th of July. We'll go over that coming up.
Well, new this morning, a man is dead. A sheriff's deputy is on leave after a shooting in Knox County.
It happened last night on Kentucky 223 east of Barberville. State police say the man was shot after attacking the deputy. WKYT's Mark Barber live at our live desk in our newsroom with the latest. Mark?
Good morning, Bill. State police say the 30-year-old was shot to death during a fist fight with a constable and a deputy. Investigators tell me he was killed in front of the child he was accused of kidnapping. Take a look. This is new video just into our newsroom now. In the last 30 minutes, the flat-lip man who was shot to death has been identified as Jesse Mills. Law enforcement officials started searching for him last night after someone called 911. They reported Mills was intoxicated and said he'd kidnapped a child in the Moore Creek area. About an hour later, a deputy and a constable spotted Mills a couple miles away, walking with the child on Highway 223. When they tried to stop him, state police say he attacked the constable and the deputy.
Just let you know how vulnerable we all are, how dangerous the job can be at times, and the dangers every officer that puts a uniform on goes out here every day and does.
The law enforcement officials were not seriously hurt. They've been placed on administrative leave while state police investigate the shooting. This morning, the child who was reportedly kidnapped is now safe at home with their family. From the live desk, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Mark, thank you. Let's go straight to WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain now at our alert desk with this breaking news out of Turkey. Michelle.
Bill, Turkish state media say 13 suspects have been detained over this week's airport attack in Istanbul. The arrested includes 3 foreign nationals. Now, the death toll in the terror attack has risen to 42. More than 200 people were hurt in the attack, and Turkish investigators say 3 suicide attackers arrived at the airport together in a taxi, then split up. U.S. intelligence officials says the violence has the markings of an ISIS attack. Turkish media say a police conducted simultaneous raids at 16 locations in the city this morning, leading to those 13 arrests. Now, of course, we'll stay on top of this story throughout the morning here on WKYT, and we'll also post the latest on WKYT.com.
Obvious major developments in that. We will note the Associated Press is calling them detainments at this point for questioning, so we'll see where this all goes this morning. Our time 5:34. A warrant has been issued for a well-known horse trainer after dozens of horses were found abandoned on a Kentucky farm. The Kentucky Department of Agriculture tells the Herald Leader that trainer Maria Burrell is charged with 43 counts of animal cruelty. Her father, Charles Burrell, was arrested yesterday and is facing the same charges. He owns the company that's leasing the Mercer County farm where the horses were found. Maria Burrell trained Run Happy, who won the Breeders' Cup in the spring of last year, and the abandoned horses are now being cared for by the state. 6 of them that needed more care are at the Thoroughbred Retirement Foundation in Lexington. We're tracking a crime alert in Lexington this morning after another gas station robbery overnight. This one happened about 3 this morning at the Speedway on Winchester Road near 7th Street. That Speedway was also hit during a rash of robberies 2 days ago. This time, police say a man, likely in his 40s, walked in and pulled a gun on the clerk before stealing cash. During Tuesday's robberies, police think 2 men robbed 2 Speedways and a Waffle House. It's because of those robberies that police say they have stepped up patrols around many of the gas stations in Lexington. But the suspect of this latest robbery has not been caught.
New this morning, police in Cincinnati are looking for a man who they say attacked and robbed an elderly pizza restaurant worker. But first, a warning for you this morning. The video some of you may find to be disturbing. Police say surveillance video shows the robber throwing a rock at 87-year-old James Hayes, then hitting him with his own cane. It happened last week in the parking lot of the La Rosa's restaurant in Cincinnati. Look at that. Police say the robber then stole Hayes' wallet and car, which was found a couple blocks away. Good news here this morning. Hayes was not seriously injured in that attack. Friends say they cannot understand why anyone would want to hurt him, but police say a Jackson County man's wife tried to kill him. State police charged 32-year-old Elizabeth Snyder with attempted murder. They say she shot Cecil Ray Snyder Sunday, then left their home. They say she returned hours later with some neighbors and claimed she didn't know Cecil had been shot. Police say Cecil suffered serious injuries. Friends say the couple had a rocky relationship.
It wasn't surprising. She had a temper issue. You know, I'd seen her unload on Ray.
Friends say the couple have been married for about 5 years. Elizabeth Snyder is being held on a $250,000 cash-only bond. Police say they arrested her a few days after the shooting based on multiple interviews and leads in the case.
People in the community are still working to help the family of Lexington's latest murder victim. Police say 36-year-old Robert Warner was shot over the weekend outside an apartment complex off Eastland Parkway. Police have not made any arrests for his murder. But last night, a crowd gathered at the Swahili Elks Lodge to share memories of the man they loved.
I really like seeing how everybody cared about my dad because it makes me feel like really good inside to know that he's been loved more than our family.
Warner's friends say they hope someone can provide information to police to help them find the person who killed him. Funeral arrangements have now been made for the Reverend Wayne Smith. We've just gotten those this morning. He, of course, was the founder of Southland Christian Church. Smith died this week. He was 87 years old. Reverend Smith started Southland Christian Church in 1956. It has since become the largest church in central Kentucky with multiple campuses in the Lexington area. Visitation for Smith will be next Tuesday and Wednesday at Southland Christian Church on Harrodsburg Road, and his funeral will be there next Wednesday at 1 o'clock.
Authorities say grizzly bear has killed a mountain biker near a national park in Montana. They say the 38-year-old man was killed yesterday afternoon about a mile from a campground just outside Glacier National Park. Authorities say the victim was riding with someone else when they surprised the bear. That bear then knocked the victim off his bike. They also say they are still looking for that bear. There have only been 10 bear-related deaths in that area since 1910. 4 Kentucky state parks are going to see millions of dollars in improvements. The estimated $3.7 million is part of the $18 million approved this year by state lawmakers. Money will go towards structural repairs, painting, and upgrades. In an announcement yesterday, officials said the upgrades are planned at Lake Barkley, Kentucky Dam Village, Ken Lake, and Pennyrile Forest State Resort Parks.
We have an update on the efforts to repair structural issues at the Lee County Courthouse, which has had some problems. County leaders closed part of the courthouse earlier in this month after some of the floors started separating from the walls. Engineers are still trying to figure out what can be done to fix the building permanently, but for now, the Family Support and Protection and Permanency Services offices have been moved over to Owsley County. Lee County leaders say they're looking into some new options for employees of those offices. Animal shelter workers in Florida are blaming a cat for thousands of dollars in flood damage at a shelter there. They say one of the cats at the Florida Humane Society in Pompano Beach managed to turn on a faucet and a sink, and that was right in the shelter's cat room. The water ran, though, for at least 17 hours before anyone knew what had happened. By then, much of the shelter had been flooded out.
Countertops were ruined, the walls ruined. We had lots of damage with food and storage that we had in the hallway, cat litter.
The shelter says none of the cats were injured. Many of them had to be moved out for now. They're not sure which cat turned on the faucet. Which one was guilty? I'm not sure, right?
He's hoping he has 9 lives.
Disappeared back into the crowd. All right, 5:40. It's time to check live drive traffic this morning and see what is going on bright and early on your Thursday, this last day of June. Clean and green on our current traffic map, as you see there. No reports of any problems in the area. All of our surrounding cities to Lexington, Richmond, Mount Sterling, Winchester, Lawrenceburg, Harrodsburg, everybody looking good right now.
Hey, you know, it's A-OK. Here's a look at the Lexington Fayette Urban County Government's live drive cam. This one showing the view of Limestone and Maxwell. Pretty quiet out there on your day before Friday.
All right, it'll be picking up here in just a few minutes. Still a lot more news coming up on WKYT this morning.
You want a house that's made to move? Well, this one may be for you. Find out about the house built of a shipping container when we return.
Did you walk out of your house this morning? It's an awesome start to the day. It looks good. It feels good. We get into your afternoon, no problems. But the next few days, things will change. And I'll show you when the rain arrives. Coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
You can see on live sky camera, this is going to be a really nice start today. I'm meteorologist Micah Harris with your update early this morning before you step out the door. I'm really not sure if I'm more surprised that it's June 30th, we're about to head into July. I mean, it's crazy. Or that it actually feels like this on June 30th. I mean, you got to remember, record low is right there around 50 degrees, and there are some spots near 55 degrees, 54 degrees, Somerset at 54. I mean, we're getting down there. Now, we won't break a record, but it's at least we're talking about it. This is an awesome start to the day. 60 degrees now in London, Corbin area. Jackson, go down into, say, Hazard and also Harlan. We're holding on to the 50s and 60s. Lexington coming in at 59 degrees, so a crisp start. I mean, when you walk out the door, if you're not one of those that walk around the neighborhood early in the morning, you might want to try it this morning. I mean, this is a good time to actually start that or try that. It's an awesome start, and then we hit the afternoon. Yesterday, we actually finished off in the upper 70s to lower 80s, and we're going to do that again today. Low humidity, all looks well, mostly sunny skies. I see no problem whatsoever. Then we're looking toward Friday and Saturday. That's the time that we're going to be seeing some events kick off. Now, we'll have that small chance of rain on both Friday and Saturday. It's not a great chance, but it is there about 30–40% with temperatures there around 80 degrees. It's not that bad. I mean, if you get a passing thunderstorm, it lasts 10 to 20 minutes, and then it's long gone. So stick to your plans. You got the Hope Fest. I'll actually be the MC on that on Friday in Mount Sterling. That kicks off at 6 p.m. We'd love to see you out there. Also, 3rd of July Festival. That's going to be there in Corbin on Sunday, and it looks like it could be a little bit rainy there on Sunday. So just keep that in mind. There's some passing showers and thunderstorms on Sunday. Lakeside Live there in Lexington on Friday. That's a new one kicking off. Here in Lexington, it's fantastic. We actually go out there and do a few live shots. Chris Bailey will be out there again this Friday. Lake Fest in Jamestown, down in Russell County. That kicks off tomorrow, off into Saturday. Both of those days don't look dry, don't look fully dry, but they look mainly dry. You still have that small chance of rain. Temperatures there in the lower 80s. And then we head towards Sunday off into Monday. That's when things get interesting. Sunday, I still see pretty decent shot at rain at about 60%. And then we head off into Monday, the 4th of July, still holding on to that chance of rain. The threat of that is going to be heavy rain. I don't see much of a chance of severe weather, but nonetheless, you'll still have some thunderstorms. And both days at 60% chance of rain. So the breakdown of the forecast the next few days now through, I'd say Saturday, is either fully dry or just a small chance of rain. You can't rule that out on Friday and Saturday. But Sunday, Monday, guys, good chance that we'll actually see at least some passing showers and thunderstorms.
And I know how tough it is for you to say that. You always want people's plans to work out.
You know, we've done the parade, though, the 4th of July parade when it's been raining. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Kind of
Thunderstorms will be different.
Listen,
though.
I think,
yeah,
exactly. I think over the years I have done every condition at that parade. I mean, there was one year it was very cool. It's been hotter than
probably no snow.
Places. Yeah. No snow.
Presumably.
You're right about that. You're right. 5:47 right now.
It's an interesting home, to say the least.
A man in St. Louis has built his house entirely out of shipping containers. You heard it. The house is built out of 8 shipping containers. They're all melded together, and they make a 2-story home with 4 bedrooms. The home's owner, Zach Smithy, says the whole project cost about $125,000.
Wow.
He and his wife say they're working on a TV show about the building of their container house. Not everybody's thrilled about the house, though. The city's going to vote next week there on an ordinance that would ban any more of these houses except in a mobile home park. So we'll see.
Well, I've heard about this before, and they say it's, you know, a nice, affordable way for people to actually own a home and own the space that they live in.
And there's a big movement in the tiny house movement. You know,
I can't understand that one. I can't wrap my mind around that one, Bill, but
lots of people
I know some people can.
Yeah, right.
Coming up, you'll get the stories making news right now.
We'll check on that, the top news. Also, we'll have traffic updates for you and a whole lot more. And it's so good to have you along on WKYT this morning.
Kentucky mornings start here. You're watching WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. Welcome back into WKYT This Morning. It's 5:51 here on this last day of June, Thursday.
Yeah, let's get a look at some of the stories we're working on for you at this hour.
A lot going on. State police say a man was shot and killed after attacking a Knox County deputy. It happened last night on Kentucky 223 east of Barberville. Police say the man was thought to be kidnapping a child. The deputies were not seriously hurt. The child, who reportedly was kidnapped, is now safe at home with the family.
Lexington Speedway was robbed early this morning for the second time this week. Happened about 3 this morning at the Speedway on Winchester Road near 7th Street. This time, police say a man, likely in his 40s, walked in and pulled a gun on the clerk before stealing some cash. Police have not made any arrests. Well, there has been some detainments in Turkey in the case of this terror attack, and the death toll at the Istanbul airport from that attack up to 42. More than 200 are injured.
And the new information is that authorities in Turkey are reviewing video and interviewing witnesses. They're trying to determine what led up to Tuesday's terror attack at Istanbul's main airport. Now, what we've learned in the last few minutes is that Turkish authorities have taken in 13 people for questioning. They're being called detainments at this moment. We'll get you updated. Turkish investigators say 3 suicide bombers arrived together in a taxi and detonated themselves in separate locations at the airport. Turkish and U.S. officials believe ISIS is to blame. So far, no group has claimed responsibility. But again, the new information this morning, 13 people detained in Turkey in connection with this.
On political news now, Donald Trump travels to New Hampshire today to deliver a major policy speech on trade. Speaking from Canada yesterday, President Obama blasted the presumptive Republican nominee for threatening to tear up trade deals, calling the plan the wrong medicine, according to Obama. The president is expected to make a first appearance with presumptive Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton in North Carolina next week.
A race is officially underway in the United Kingdom over who will replace Prime Minister David Cameron. Former London Mayor Boris Johnson is among those vying for the position after successfully leading the campaign that led to the country's exit from the EU. Cameron announced his resignation last week, right after British voters decided to leave the 28-nation bloc.
The Motion Picture Academy embraces diversity, and Prince fans have a chance to own a piece of the pop icon's memorabilia.
Daniel Nottingham has your eye on entertainment.
The Academy of Motion Pictures invited 683 new members, the largest, most diverse class in its history. The Oscars came under fire this year because there were no African Americans nominated for acting awards. People of color make up 41% of this year's class, including Michael B. Jordan and Idris Elba. A motorcycle jacket and white signature shirt worn by Prince in the 1984 film Purple Rain are up for sale. They are part of the Profiles in History auction that runs through tomorrow in California. Prince died at his Minnesota home in April. Blink-182 is releasing its 7th album titled California. The rock band did a photo shoot at the Empire State Building. They say fans will not be disappointed.
It's Blink-182 .0, if that's not too cheesy to say. It's just Blink-182 in 2016 with me.
California is on sale tomorrow. And the stars of Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates walked the red carpet in Los Angeles last night.
It is so on this weekend.
Zac Efron and Adam Devine play brothers looking for the perfect wedding dates, but their online ad goes viral and they get more than they bargained for.
It's just a fun ride. I think people are going to want to watch it more than once.
The film hits theaters next Friday. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And now for today's top health stories. The death rate from heart disease and stroke has been declining for more than a decade in the U.S.
But the latest study finds that even with advances in treatment and prevention, the improvement is leveling off. Researchers say the rise in obesity and diabetes may be to blame.
Butter is shaking off its bad reputation. Researchers at Tufts University found eating butter has little or no association with chronic disease. The study says butter may be better for you than the starch it's spread on, like white bread or potatoes. Hey, I've heard potatoes are actually pretty healthy though, but fats like olive oil and canola oil still a healthier choice. Why do potatoes get such a bad rap? I don't understand that. I love them.
They quickly metabolize the sugar, I think, is the
Oh, is that why?
main issue.
Okay.
Right. All right, 5:56 is our time this morning.
Let's get a check right now on today's traffic trouble spots with a look at live drive traffic.
See what's going on from Nicholasville. It's a 13-minute ride in today. Versailles, an 11-minute ride. Folks are moving along fine out of Richmond, just a half hour from downtown Richmond to downtown Lexington. No reports of any issues in the region. Now, here's the Urban County Government's live drive camera at Limestone and Maxwell. And it looks good, too.
Hey, you know, that's a beautiful shot, isn't it?
It really is. A good start to the day out there. It's cool out there this morning. Keep that in mind.
Oh, it's feeling great, Micah.
Yeah, and we're sitting there. Record low is right around 50 degrees. In some spots, we're anywhere from 54 to 55 degrees. So we're not going to reach a record, but we're talking about it. I mean, it is a really nice start today. Look at Lexington. Beautiful day in store, but we do have some rain for your holiday weekend. We're going to go over that. Another hour of WKYT News comes up in just a couple of minutes.